Today's Jamboard tries to connect the first assignment that you did, which was using a PhET simulation, where you were building different systems that had different components, and you were studying the energy changes in that system. Trying to connect that to the textbook work. So I've got 4 pages here. This could take 2 videos. We'll see. So we'll get to the first page. One thing that struck me as I was trying to make the connection between the PhET simulation and the book was the PhET simulation was really continuous energy, if you will. So that, for example, on this problem here, the girl is riding the bicycle continuously. So we could say she's powering the generator in the middle, and that the generator is used to power the light bulb. So that's a continuous flow of energy, if you will, as different from what the book was doing. So let me just jump over to a question from the book, or something like the question from the book. And the book really focuses on a one-time change. So we lift an object. So I do find that a little bit of a disconnect, but I think we can make that work. So in this first question here, and I'm really thinking about the types of things you would be asked on an assessment. It says, write what you see in the image below. Identify the 3 parts of your system and the input and output energy for each part. Well, if I do these screenshots and you've got the answer key, let's just try this. Oh, okay, not very effective. If you've got the answer key over in the corner, that should aid you in your presentation. So let's see here. Okay, so if I'm a student responding to this, it says, write what you see in the images below. Identify the 3 parts of your system. Well, there's the bike. Sorry, changing pens. Still not very fluent in this. There's the bike. There's what I'm going to call the generator, right? And these would be systems we could study in class. How fun would that be? Generator. The generator is really a reverse of a motor. So a motor, we supply electricity to it and it spins a shaft. The generator is the opposite of that. We're spinning a shaft, and through the interactions between magnets and wires and the movement itself, we create electricity. But we don't really appreciate that level of it. We just see that as something that's converting mechanical to electrical energy. So we're calling that a generator, and then we have a light bulb. Guess I'll go down here with it. Okay, so I'm going to be a little bit simple here in my marking the in and the out for each of these. I think if I weren't working off of this app, I could probably make it look a little bit neater. But the bicycle starts with chemical energy because the person's, say, digesting food to operate her muscles. So I'm seeing chemical energy be converted to mechanical. And I'm as much thinking about the process, right? The spinning tire we would come to see as mechanical energy, as a physical movement. But I could also be using the forms of energy key over here on the right-hand side, which again I'll circle. The generator takes in the mechanical energy, and as an output, it has electrical energy. And I'm going to do a big in and a big out over here. And then the light bulb takes in the electrical energy and lets out light energy. So when you test, I could do any number of these, but this definitely fits in with a unit on energy forms and their changes. But I do appreciate that this is really a continuous supply of energy to this system, as the different parts have their changes in the form of the energy. Okay, so I'm going to reduce that, and I'm going to go over to something that starts to try to connect to your book a little bit, this one-time energy change. I think there's a focus in this chapter on what we would call mechanical energy. So it's taking an object and it's lifting it up to give it gravitational potential energy, or it's taking an object and pushing it to give it a velocity. So write what you see in the image below. Identify the change in energy for the box lifted by the crane. So the box has an increase. The box has an increase in potential energy. I could even have said gravitational potential energy. Let me just insert that. That's a big circle that I'm trying to extend down here. Gravitational potential energy. Gravitational. Oh, it looks a little messy. The box has an increase in gravitational potential energy. Okay, so again, is this a stretch of a connection to the other one? The other one, we see light bulbs, we see bicycles pedaling, we see electrical energy, and we're seeing changes in form of energy. And here, what we see is we're doing work on an object to increase its gravitational potential energy. Okay, we'll have to keep working on that connection. I think this is a good place to stop this video, because from really question 2 down, or maybe question 3A down, it really starts to look more like the more recent homework in your book. So I'll stop this one here. Thank you.